Happy Sunday, YouTube. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I'm here down at the park, going to do a little fishing. It's just a beautiful day to come out here and see what we can catch. But I'm really excited to see a lot of youngsters calling me up about more information when it comes to our industry. I started fairly young, selling final expense at the age of 25 years old. And at the time, when I would go to company meetings or conventions, it was obvious that I was the youngest one out there. And all these years, I've always wondered why the youngsters really have not discovered this industry. Selling insurance doesn't require a whole lot of education. If you don't have a college degree, that's fine, because all you need to do truly is just get some pre-licensing courses under your belt that teach you all the ins and outs of insurance. And once you do that, then you just prepare to take an exam, pass a background test, get some fingerprints, and you have a license. In my case, my investment initially was around $500 to get my pre-licensing courses, because back in 2004 when I started, there was nothing online. You have to go in class and sit in a classroom for a week, and then you would get your certificate so you can go and study and then go and take your exam. And that was 20 years ago. But the point is, at 25 years old, I started my career. In that first year, I grossed $113,000. That was more money than most folk that went to college were making. And even today, 20 years later, that's still a good size amount of income, especially for someone that's 25 years old. So if you're watching this video, you have any more questions, give me a call, send me an email. Again, if you're looking into getting your license, write down my promo code, VirtualFE, go to Excel Solutions, and sign up for life only and use my promo code, and you're gonna get a 75% discount off your pre-licensing courses. So when you get to the register, punch in VirtualFE, and you'll see that huge discount. If you do your research, you'll see that the average pre-licensing courses are costing anywhere from $100 to $600. So this discount can really help you at least get the ball rolling. Because once you get this certificate of finalization from the pre-licensing course, then you can go and take your test. So I'm excited to see the youngsters getting into this business. Again, if you love sales, you love working from home or having the flexibility of working from anywhere, look at where I live. I live in rural Northern California. I work in a t-shirt, baseball hat, sandals, and it's been years since I've had to knock on doors or hit the streets to sell insurance. You can do it all virtually, as long as you got a solid internet connection, a headset, and the desire to win. So I encourage you to keep doing your research, get started, and you won't regret it. That's a fact. A lot of folks don't realize that the industry that makes the most millionaires in America in modern times is the insurance industry. Don't take my word for it. Google it and you'll see what I mean. But with that said, I wanted to talk to all of you guys about leads. You see, in our business, you can either chase friends and family or work your neighborhood, or you can invest in a marketing strategy and generate leads of people that want to talk to you about funeral insurance. My specialty over all these years has been final expense insurance. That's the only thing I've ever sold. And for those of you guys that are new, final expense is a category within the life insurance niche. Basically, it's designed to pay for someone's funeral arrangements and any loose ends that people leave when they die. The underwriting is simple, basic questions, typically 6 to 12 questions. In most cases, no medical exam is required, making it a much faster process to issue business and getting paid. So it takes me to leads. Now, a lot of you guys are new, you're just getting started. Some of you just got your license, you're starting to work with a IMO or an insurance carrier, and you've realized that the question of where your next piece of business is going to come from is an actual valid question. That's where, again, marketing, your lead strategy comes in. For some of you guys that are influencers, you got a presence on social media. Well, all you got to do is go on social media, make a video of some sort, marketing life insurance, and you're going to get a bunch of people calling you wanting what? More information. Well, hey, good for you. You invested the time and energy to build your social media presence, so now you can bank on that. Great idea. For the rest of you out there that don't have that type of presence, well, you can either invest in lead gen, do it yourself, or you can pay a company like mine to do the marketing for you and generate the leads. And when you do it like that, there's obviously a cost to that per lead. So it takes me to this question, because a lot of you guys have brought it up to me. Which is the best lead for someone that's just starting out? What is that lead? Well, let me explain to you a little bit of the choices you have out there, okay? I'm going to break it up into two categories. You got the category of the leads that you have to call, and then you have the category of leads that they call you, okay? Two different categories, but it's a lead. Let's start with the category where it requires you to call back, okay? So what's the best one? So if you're allocating $1,000 a week, that's your budget. So $1,000 a week. So what lead are you going to buy? Well, I hope this information helps you. When you look at any lead that you have to call, whether that is a Facebook lead, of an advertisement that's talking about final expense, a internet lead where they're going to a landing page of some sort, a television lead, a direct mail piece, Instagram, any type of real-time lead where you have to call back. What you need to understand is if you purchase $1,000 worth of any of those leads where you have to call back, please be advised that a good 50% of those people, when you receive that list of real-time leads, they're not going to pick up the phone immediately. It's going to require you to really follow up, relentless, to get these people on the phone. So if a good 50% of these people are not going to pick up, then right off the top, you know that you're going to have to either double up your lead order in order to connect with enough people to make enough presentations, to make enough sales to go ahead and reinvest into the same. Sometimes I see a lot of new agents in their mind, they're thinking, if I buy $1,000 worth of leads, but they're not realizing how many of those people are not going to pick up the phone. So have that into consideration. If you're going to be buying $1,000 worth of leads, 50% of those people might not pick up, meaning you're going to need more leads in order to reach the number of people you need to make sales. A lot of you guys aren't even realizing about that, and I'm just sharing this with you because I'm on the phone on a daily basis. All of that costs you time and energy. And if you're not thinking about that, it's something to think about, because people aren't picking up the phone. Sometimes I have an inbound call where it drops and I have to call them back. And when I call them back, they don't pick up. I got to leave them a voicemail, maybe triple dial them, and then finally I get them to pick up or call me back. That costs money. One thing I would recommend if that's you and you're considering buying leads where you're calling back, do your best to buy the cheapest lead. That way you have more people to call. But you don't want to buy a lead so cheap that numbers are disconnected. You know, you can't even get connections just because the numbers are old. And that happens a lot. Another thing that happens with callback leads, especially with Facebook, you get a lot of ghost leads, fake accounts. So prepare for that. Now we have the second category, leads that call you. Now, you got inbounds. Typically, inbounds at a 60-second buffer costs $55. So it's way more expensive. You got live transfers. Typically ranging anywhere from $25 to $45. That's what I've seen on a 60, 120-second buffer. So which is the best between both? Good news is that regardless of your choice of lead, when it comes to calls to you, the beauty of live transfers and inbounds is that it avoids you having to lose money on dialing to numbers that are not picking up. So all those numbers, that 50% of people that didn't pick up, you don't have that problem with direct connections, whether live transfers or inbounds. Why? Because it's a guaranteed connection of that person. So you have no loss in terms of how many people you're actually connecting to. You're paying more money, but again, you're actually connecting with people that want to talk to you. And that is a game changer. But if you don't have a skill set, you don't know how to sell, and you don't know how to close, these two options are just not going to work for you, because you'll go through these calls and not make any sales because you do not know how to close or make a presentation. So think about that. That can get very expensive real fast if you don't have your skill set down. So live transfers, you get a direct connection all the time, so you save on losing people, but you must have your sales skills at the top of your game as well as your closing. Now, the only bad part about live transfers, and I want to caution you this, I no longer work those and I no longer offer those. Why? Because of compliance reasons. If you don't know the marketing company that's doing the live transfers, that can be a dangerous situation for you, because a lot of marketing companies that are being hired to do live transfers, their DNC system is not accurate. It's not. And I can prove it to you. The next 10, 20, 30 live transfers you take, I want you to check them against Aperion. Aperion checks for do not call numbers on the registry at a federal level, but they don't check the 12 states that have their independent state DNC. It doesn't check for that. And I challenge you to check every number you're getting from the company sending you these live transfers and confirm it against Aperion. I'll post the website here in the content section for Aperion so you can cross-reference. That is your biggest risk, because if you get one of those live transfers that's on the DNC, it can cost you up to $40,000 per violation, not to mention the TCPA violations that are tagged onto that. And you do not want that. So out of those two, if I had to choose, I would go with inbounds instead of live transfers. I would make the sacrifice in paying more money, because you're avoiding 100% the compliance issue. And it's not if, it's only a matter of when you get that letter from a litigator telling you that his number was on the DNC and asking for money. That's a big issue. So cross-reference every one of your live transfer numbers with Aperion, and if any of those numbers shows up dirty, then you can understand what I'm saying, that a lot of these centers do not have a true DNC mechanism that checks 100% accurate. Do yourself a favor and cross-reference it. It might save you the headache of a DNC lawsuit. So I hope this information helps you. Remember, time is money, but also you have to have a good skill set when you get on the telephone. If you need any help, please give me a call. I do sales training every single day. I run 3 sales meetings a day with my team. If you don't win, I don't win. Simple math. So with that said, you guys have a great Sunday. I'm going to see if I can get me some bass today. Peace.